Hi, welcome to SCW, the wrestling channel here on YouTube.com. Thank you for choosing the channel and choosing the video. Subscribe right now. Leave any comments in the comments section. Would love to know your feelings on SummerSlam 2017 in Brooklyn. What are your predictions? Let me know in the comments below right now. But that's why I am here. I'm going to give you my predictions now for the event. Going to go through the card top to bottom and give you my feelings on the event. So without further ado, let's start with the kickoff, the pre-show, and to what I expect to be the opening contest to be the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match, the Usos versus the New Day. I like the way this has particularly been built in the last few weeks since Battleground, since the tag team titles have changed hands. I love that the Usos took out the New Day. I love the fact that they mimicked their entrance, and I love the fact that they also picked up a victory over the New Day this past week after actually demanding to find out who they would be facing on the event. So they're going to be facing Xavier Woods and Big E on the event, which is probably why this is a kickoff match and not on the main show, although I expect this to be a red hot tag team match. Perhaps not as good as Battleground because I think Kofi and Xavier made it better, but I still think that this will be a great tag team match, and I think that this will sign off this particular rivalry in top fashion, in top style, and I expect the New Day to pick up the victory here. And I think personally, all round, this has been a superb rivalry. The only thing I would say maybe was questionable was perhaps the rap battle on the way to Battleground, but certainly did have its OMG moments as well. So for me, I've been quite a fan of this rivalry, and I think the New Day will pick up the victory. Next is the Cruiserweight Championship match, also expected to be on the kickoff, which will be Neville versus Akira Tozawa. Of course, Tozawa is the new champion now after Raw. Certainly was a surprise. It does make me wonder if this is a transitional thing, which is going to be over just for a few days. I certainly like the way it's played on 205 Live with the countdown clock, and Neville, of course. You see almost an involvement of his character, and I think that 205 needs an injection of something of change. So I'm hoping Tozawa picks up the victory here because it's clear WWE not going to bring anyone else in at the moment of high profile to face Neville. So although I'm surprised at the title change on Raw and would have saved it till SummerSlam, obviously they wanted to do on a more high profile stage where the belt changed hands and not on a kickoff. So I think Tozawa will pick up the victory. This will give people like Rich Swann, TJP, Jack Gallagher something to do again because they feel very lost. Everything else feels a bit stale outside the title picture. Neville has clearly beaten everybody. So for me now, this gives Neville a new sort of direction to go with his character, which makes his matches a bit fresher again because he was beating everyone, and it gives new challengers and old faces to get back into that title picture. So I think that the Cruiserweight Championship and 205 Live could just get a little of injection of something it needs. Although I would have personally had Cedric Alexander pick up the belt off Neville at the same time, I still think it's quite entertaining with the Titus Worldwide, and maybe this actually could be some clever booking deep down when we look back at this 2 or 3 months down the line from WWE. But going then for the actual result, I'm going to go for Tozawa. Although I wouldn't be surprised if Neville did pick up the belt back. I still think, though, it would be better for Tozawa. Going on to the main card itself then. I'm going to start with John Cena versus Baron Corbin because I've got a little bit to say on this particular one. Of course, Baron Corbin cashed in his Money in the Bank and lost. It was a big surprise. I think it's a waste when you see this happen with Money in the Bank, particularly at this moment where WWE need to build new stars. Now, rumours are suggesting that there's a lot of backstage heat on Corbin for the way his Twitter behaviour has been recently. He's even had some exchanges with the likes of Dave Meltzer and has come out on a losing end of it and not looking the best on Twitter. So this is probably what's happened. There's probably some heat on it, and this is probably why Corbin has been made to lose the belt. So there's no lose the briefcase, and not gain the belt. Now, there's no reason that Corbin can't get back in favour and win the belt later in the year, but it still felt a bit sour the way it was dealt with, and of course John Cena being the guy to cost him, I'm sure this rubbed a lot of fans up the wrong way. I'm not going to blame the booking. It certainly was a shocking moment at SmackDown Live, and for me personally, I would have loved to have seen Corbin win it, just because it would have thrown a whole card into disarray, and I think there would have been a lot of talking points going into SummerSlam. I said that they should do that once for a card, and of course, saying before WrestleMania would be really big headlines. But I think SummerSlam would be a better option really to have done that. I think it would have been a clever move from WWE because WrestleMania is the biggest card of the year and is the biggest show of the year. To do that on that, I think perhaps would have caused a few uproars with people that have perhaps bought the pay-per-view and maybe subscribed to the network to find the championship match isn't what they expected it to be. It could have been the same for SummerSlam, but I think with SummerSlam it would have been a bit more forgiven. Also would have made a bit more sense with Jinder Mahal as well, because he's apparently booked as a face in India. So technically the heel on heel cash-in would have kind of worked, but it wasn't to be. It's not worked out, but it does make you wonder how this is going to go this Sunday. I think if Corbin's in the bad books, though, to go with this rivalry with John Cena, then Cena's going over, and then we'll go over to Raw and probably take on the likes of Samoa Joe. I don't think there's much more we can say on this. If Corbin is in the bad books, he's not going to be treated well in the booking for the next little bit. So you can forget what I think would have happened before. I would have assumed Corbin maybe would have picked up the victory. Although if it had been the briefcase, I would have maybe said he would have lost. But I think perhaps Corbin should win. I think Cena will win. Next, we'll look at another SmackDown match, which is Rusev versus Randy Orton. How unmotivated is Randy Orton at the moment? It doesn't seem to be good. Rusev as well, the booking's been very strange. He was demanding a title match to come back. Then he did come back, have a flag match with Cena, lost. Seems to really not have a lot of momentum going on as well. You can forget, a couple of good matches with Chad Gable, but it's not really doing anything for him, let's be honest here. Randy Orton, for me, is going to pick up the victory in this one. And to be honest, really, even if Rusev did win, I don't see it given the momentum that it could do, because Randy Orton at the moment has not had a great 2017. When you look at past the Royal Rumble with victory that he probably shouldn't have had to begin with, to have the rivalry with Bray Wyatt that didn't work, then to have a rivalry with Jinder Mahal that didn't work, you can feel that Randy Orton's on the slide at the minute, and I think he needs a pay-per-view victory. So this is probably why he's got Rusev, and I expect Randy Orton to go over. Next will be the Demon Finn Balor, and I'm glad it's the Demon, not the Demon King. I can't stand the Demon King. Him versus Bray Wyatt. Again, surprised we got this on Raw. The first match, Bray Wyatt picking up the victory, but I like the sort of way it was done, even with the symbolic paint, the acidic paint thing that was going on, clearly to awaken the demon inside it. It kind of looked weird for someone that had never seen this before, but for people that perhaps knew of the characters, knew where this was going, and knew this would bring out the demon character Finn Balor. I'm looking forward to seeing it. It'll be a whole year since we've last seen it. And will we keep it going forward? Unlikely. I think it should be safe for the special events, although it does really make Finn Balor stand out. But I like Balor either way. I think he does a great job. I expect him to get his revenge, the 50-50 booking. I expect the Demon Finn Balor to pick up the victory over Bray Wyatt this Sunday, and then we'll get the rubber match at No Mercy. Next, we'll look at Big Cass versus The Big Show. Enzo Amore will be suspended above the ring in a shark cage. It's been about 8 months since we've had one of these, and then before that was a couple of months before that, so 3 in a year, and we hadn't seen it for probably at least 10 to 15 years before that. So, it's a very strange scenario to see this brought back so quick, the shark cage. And I think Enzo is the first face to ever be thrown in there in history. I'm expecting someone to go wrong, Enzo Amore to accidentally cost the Big Show this match with maybe, I don't know, some brass knuckles or something like this. I expect Big Cass to go over. The Big Show gets a moment on a big pay-per-view, which I think he deserves. He's done a lot for WWE, and he's coming towards the end of his career, so especially with WWE anyway. So I think for me, after the Big Show didn't get his WrestleMania moment, this certainly will be a nice little moment for him. And I'm kind of, believe it or not, I'm looking forward to this match, especially with the broken hand element. I thought that was very well done on Raw this week. I thought that that was certainly some good build, and certainly will add to the match this Sunday. And I think it will make Big Cass look strong going over. I'd be interested to see if Anderson and Gallows are involved in any form with this match as well, because I don't know why, but I quite liked the idea of them three as a trio. Of course, it's not the Bullet Club, it's not the club, but certainly could have something going forward. But we'll have to wait and see. I know it was done just as the fact that Big Show and Enzo beat Anderson and Gallows the week before, but certainly still for me, I kind of felt that give everyone a bit of TV time, and it just kind of felt something a bit fresh, so I kind of liked it. Next, we'll look at the Raw Tag Team Championships. Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins versus Cesaro and Sheamus. A storyline that's definitely took a lot of headlines on Raw with Ambrose and Seth Rollins. I kind of like the way it's gone in places, and other places I was kind of a bit like, where are you going with this? But we've ultimately got to the place that we knew it would. They're both on the same page, and they're both going to take on Cesaro and Sheamus in what really is 4 big names in a tag team match, and should be a decent tag team match as well. I'm expecting the belts to change hands here. I think that definitely give the big pop in Brooklyn as well. Hardcore sort of fan base, I think that will go down well to see that sort of Shield reunion-esque, and Ambrose and Rollins pick up the victory. Will this lead to a heel turn somewhere down the line? Perhaps, but we'll have to wait and see. For now, I expect though Ambrose and Rollins to win the belts and carry the Raw Tag Team division going forward. Another rivalry I'm kind of liking is the United States Championship match since we've had the insertion of the special referee. That's right, it's AJ Styles, the champion, defending it against Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon as the referee. The last 2 weeks on SmackDown with the will Shane McMahon get involved in the wrong way in this match has definitely been brilliant. We've seen AJ Styles give the Pele kick accidentally to Shane McMahon last week. Kevin Owens accidentally a super kick this week to Shane McMahon. Be interesting to see how the match plays out. I think it's going to build to a future match between Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon down the line here, perhaps a Survivor Series or something like this, or the next SmackDown pay-per-view. We'll have to wait and see, but I expect Shane normally wrestles on the big pay-per-views, not normally on the minor ones, so I expect Shane would probably face Kevin Owens at Survivor Series if it's going to happen, or perhaps even Hell in a Cell if they do get that honour of having that pay-per-view this year, which I believe SmackDown does. But I think AJ Styles will pick up the victory and will carry on as the United States champion. Next, we'll look at the SmackDown Live women's title match. Naomi defending against Natalya. Will Kamala cash in? I don't think she's going to. I think that she will look at what happened on SmackDown this week, and even if the scenario is good, I think that she will have doubts. I think that they should play that into the storyline, and I think that would be good because now we've got one briefcase, not two, and you can really build this because the women's one, it's not been done before, and they've definitely tried to be innovative with it, even if there's been, in some people's opinions, questionable booking the way it's been done. Carmella certainly has been definitely a newsworthy Money in the Bank holder, and I think that they should play with this a bit longer. I don't think it's time yet for her to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase. Certainly not until we finally get Naomi versus Charlotte, in my opinion. So I'm going to go for a Naomi to retain the belt, and I don't think there will be a cash in, although I wouldn't be surprised if there was, but I don't think there should be. We'll go then to the other side and Raw Women's Championship match, Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks. I wish I'd gone with this from the start. There seems to be some real heat between these two. But it wouldn't surprise me if Sasha won here because she'll have momentum on her side. But for me, I would like to see Alexa Bliss, of course, retain. I'm a big fan of Alexa Bliss. And personally, Alexa, I do agree with what they say. I'll bring it to the table. Alexa Bliss has been great for the Raw brand, for WWE in general. She is box office. She brings ratings. And I think that that's important. And Sasha Banks, okay, yes, I am a big wrestling fan. And of course, I'd want people to be on my side being a big wrestling fan, including you guys that watch this, to say this guy knows his stuff and we're on his side for it. But that doesn't necessarily mean you can bash someone else if they're doing well for the company. If someone else is on YouTube that's not been following wrestling as long as I have, do a fantastic channel, I can't turn around and criticise them for it. So, I mean, Alexa Bliss is doing a great job in my personal opinion. So, I would like to see her retain the belt. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes the other way, but I will stick my neck out and say that I think it was supposed to be Bayley who would win the belt and then Sasha would turn heel. So for the moment, I think that Bliss will actually retain the belt, although I wouldn't be surprised if it went the other way, because I know that they're definitely going to want the big pop for Sasha Banks. It depends how long Bayley is out for. I'm going to keep talking about this just for another minute, because I may change my opinion. But it depends how long Bayley's going to be out for, because she's going to be out for a number of months. Then they could actually just make this rivalry go on a bit longer. And if they're going to do that, it would make sense actually for Sasha to go over. So do you know what? I want Bliss to win. I think Bliss should win. I think maybe Nia Jax should help her win. But I'm going to say Sasha Banks because I've just got this feeling it's in Brooklyn and it's going to go with a big pop. So no, I'm changing my opinion. Sasha Banks will win the match and maybe Bliss will get the belt back in a couple of months. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe WWE is going a different direction. Next, we'll look at the WWE title match, which is Jinder Mahal defending against Shinsuke Nakamura. It seems that the wheels are turning off for Mahal. He's lost a couple of times clean here. And I think he's eventually going to lose this belt now. I don't think it's far off this title reign now from finishing. And I think Nakamura is going to be the guy to win the belt. And I think it would be amazing to see it happen here at SummerSlam. So I think Nakamura is going to win the match. I'm just not convinced he's going to win the belt. I think that this could be stretched over to No Mercy so they can make more of a rivalry of this. But I reckon Nakamura will win, but I think this is going to be one of the false finishes of the night, and I think that this will be via disqualification or even a count-out. Wouldn't be surprised to see the Singh brothers get involved in some fashion. Last but certainly not least, the Fatal 4-Way for the WWE Universal Championship. Brock Lesnar against Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe versus Braun Strowman in what could possibly be the greatest Fatal 4-Way ever assembled. This has got potential to be something good. 4 badasses all in the ring. The promo work has been fantastic leading up to this. I love the tease that we've got that Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman will leave WWE if Brock Lesnar loses. There's been so much going on with UFC and the rumours that he could be returning to the Octagon, and WWE have played this into their hands in such a superb fashion that you almost believe that Brock Lesnar will probably lose and will probably go from WWE. The thing is that Brock Lesnar, if we look at this, is advertised for other events after this. Now, of course, that can always be subject to change. But from far as I'm aware, Brock Lesnar's contract does go to WrestleMania next year. And when normally they say these things that these guys are going to leave if they lose, I think Brock's going to win. I really do. Roman Reigns has been quite strongly booked going into this, although he did lose the last man standing match to Braun Strowman. I don't think Samoa Joe is quite there yet, and if rumours are right, I think he's got a program with Cena coming up when Cena goes to the Raw side after SummerSlam. So I'm going to go with Brock Lesnar here, and I think Brock will retain the belt. And we'll have to wait and see what goes on from there. But I think Brock, like I say, he's advertised for the next event. It'd be interesting to see if he's going to maybe take on Braun Strowman. Maybe at the next event, that could possibly happen. I think they're still going to save the big money match. I can't see WWE letting Lesnar go. The big match in their eyes is WrestleMania 34, Lesnar versus Reigns. There was suggestion they were going to put this match at SummerSlam. It didn't happen. We've got an even bigger match, in my opinion, instead, which I think will actually tear the house down because it's no DQ also, so anything can go. 4 badasses all in the same ring, legitimately creditable badasses as well. I think that this is going to be the match to see, and I think that it possibly could be the best match on the show. But I'm going to say Brock Lesnar to win, just purely because of the fact that I believe he's sticking around. I don't believe he's going just yet. So that's my predictions. Let me know your predictions in the comments below right now. It's been quite a long video, but thank you for sticking through with me. Subscribe to the channel right now, and don't forget NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. Those predictions are up on YouTube right now, so just click on the link for that, or go onto my channel, subscribe as well. You can hit the bell also, keep up to date with updates, as and when they are posted. So yeah, thank you for watching as always, and this is SCW, the wrestling channel here on YouTube.com. The team SCW will be putting their predictions together as well, and I'll be posting that for you in the coming days. But thank you for watching as always. Subscribe right now. This is SCW, the wrestling channel here on YouTube.com. Take care.